Hello, welcome to this masterclass where you'll discover how to break free from the vicious IBS cycle so you can stop hurting, go anywhere, and eat fearlessly. My name is Dr. Amanda Lynn Hoffman, and I'm excited to share this information with you today. I have no doubt you're very busy, so if it's okay with you, let's dive right in. This is for you if you're a professional woman currently dealing with moderate to severe IBS with symptoms like abdominal pain, bloating, and fatigue. You're tired of being in near constant discomfort, having to plan your life around your digestion, and being worried that this is just how things will be for you forever. You're serious, committed, and ready to put an end to the struggle so you can have a healthy and dependable gut and finally trust your body again. And listen, I know it's not easy, but it is possible. So stick with me and keep watching. But first, let me ask you, do you ever think to yourself, I'm not myself anymore? When is this abdominal pain and bloating ever going to end? I miss who I used to be before this IBS. Ever wondered how some people with IBS can eat whatever they want and they seem to be just fine? Or that they do the bare minimum to treat it and get great results. Meanwhile, you're feeling like you've tried everything and you're still suffering. If so, I can completely relate. And I'm going to show you why this happens and how you can become part of the lucky few that actually see results when not much else has worked. My promise to you, you'll discover the 3-step system helping you break the vicious cycle of IBS in as little as 12 weeks so you can get out of pain, be super regular, and eat without fear. We're talking about getting your energy and your life back. By putting this into action, you'll get so much closer to no more abdominal pain. You can stop worrying about your gut and trust your body again. Be able to make and keep your commitments without being afraid that your gut is going to interfere with your life. Can you relate? Are there days when you feel like IBS is controlling your life? Does it ever seem like you're a car that's stuck in the mud? Do you ever feel like you're at war with your body? If so, I completely understand what you're feeling, and I want you to know it's not your fault. The real problem is the gut hormone connection is ignored. We've heard now all about the gut-brain connection, but it's really the gut hormone connection that's the main driver of long-term gut health issues and the source of persistent IBS of women 35 and older. Here's why I say that. It's because estrogen is about way more than just feeling sexy. Estrogen has a lot of influence in the body with sexual reproductive health, skin, hair, and nails, mood, and much, much more. But it also has a crucial role in gut health that is often overlooked. Here's why I say that. Estrogen levels have a direct impact on the severity and occurrence of IBS. This is why women suffer far more. Thus, taking this gut-brain axis connection just one more step further. Gut-brain, sex hormones, and microbiome are all important in IBS. Estrogen has a strong relationship with the stomach's parietal cells. Those are the cells that secrete hydrochloric acid or stomach acid. We see that as estrogen declines, so does the amount of hydrochloric acid that's made in the stomach. We'll explore a bit more into how this exactly leads to persistent digestive challenges for women in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s. But this is truly why older women have a harder time processing B12 and certain minerals, leaving them more at risk for brain fog, cognitive issues, fatigue, and bone issues. There's also the hormone connection with the adrenals. Persistent and severe IBS will drain your adrenals. For when the gut is inflamed, as it is in cases of long-term gut issues like IBS, the inflammation depletes the adrenals, our vitality organ. It causes the body to steal cortisone from cortisol. The adrenals then have to work overtime to make high amounts of natural anti-inflammatory cortisone, but that causes you to have less daily energy of cortisol and less hormones that the adrenals make as well. When you address the entire gut hormone connection, you get not only a bulletproof gut, but you'll also regain energy, boost your mood, recover your sex drive, and feel like your best self again. Any approach to heal IBS that doesn't involve balancing the hormones is simply a surface level band-aid attempt to feel better. The key to lasting results is in addressing the entire gut hormone connection and not just one or the other. The good news, I figured out a simple way to solve this problem, and that's what I'll be showing you in this training. The key to your success lies inside these 3 boxes. A proven 3-step system that will help you go from persistent IBS to a bulletproof gut without intermittent fasting, risky medications, or a haphazard collection of supplements. Here's a small taste of what it's already done for others just like you. This is Kirsten. She was miserable every day, having to stay close to her toilet and afraid to go do daily activities like going to the gym. In 4 weeks of working together, she reversed her symptoms and got her life back. You'll hear more about her story in a bit. This is Joy. You'll also see how this helped Joy go from being practically homebound with excruciating pain and chronic diarrhea to pain-free, normal bowel movements in less than a week. And I'll share a few more inspiring stories with you along the way. With this, you'll get your energy and vitality back. You'll be able to confidently go anywhere. And with this, you'll be able to get lasting relief from IBS with a gut that works for you and not against you. The best part, you don't have to rely on harsh medications. You won't need to keep guessing about your diet. And that this has been proven to work even when people come to me having tried everything else without lasting results. So even though the onset of IBS wasn't your fault, it is your responsibility to do something about it, and that's why you're here. So I want to commend you for being here and demonstrating that you are the type of person who's willing to take back control and do what's needed to finally see results. Now, before we go any further, you might be wondering, who am I? And why you should even listen to what I have to say. So, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Amanda Lynn. I'm best known for helping motivated women go from persistent IBS to a bulletproof gut without any guesswork. Trusted by those who want results, for I'm a naturopathic physician. We're the original functional medicine doctors. My clinical doctorate was a primary care physician and still am for over 15 years. And far before I was an herbalist, getting to have the rare hands-on apprenticeship style training. My specialties were and are hormones and gastrointestinal diseases. As a functional doctor for 15 years with a busy practice that continues to be 85% women, has allowed me an insight into how we as women are far more sensitive to how our hormones are balanced throughout our entire body. As a patient and a physician, I'm so grateful for the wisdom these last 30 years in healthcare, wellness, and healing. And as a leader in challenging women's paths, I've been able to help empower them to understand and take charge of their health, their bodies, and their lives again. My studies and time has expanded over $1 million easily, and a total of 30 years in alternative medicine, with 48 years of being a chronic pain and self-destructive connective tissue disorder patient. So, even though I'm a sought-after expert in this area, I want you to know that things certainly weren't always this way. Let me show you what I mean. I was born with Marfan syndrome. This is a connective tissue disorder that usually brings with it a lot of pain. But what most people don't realize is that it affects all the tissues in the body, especially the gut. This became very clear to me when I was in med school, working long hours, and eating not exactly the best diet. And I tried everything. The first two here with eliminating gluten and removing dairy, I could do. But decreasing stress in the midst of medical school, yeah, not happening. I remember the moment when it all fell apart. I was in school, late nights, early exams, high stress, poor diet, low water, rarely exercised, and way too much of my favorite coffee. This slowly began to wear down my gut lining with all the acid and cortisol. The deck was already stacked against me with my Marfans, and my choices were making things much worse. But it sent me on a journey to find answers. And after endless research, I finally discovered that the gut hormone connection is ignored and the piece of the pie we need to truly take in. Once I had that aha realization, I finally figured out a better way to solve it. And life is a whole lot better now. I wake up without pain in my gut. I've been able to identify the best and worst foods for me. And I get empowered to empower my kids, my patients, and easily have a way to show them how to have a dependable gut so they can go in anywhere and not be afraid of food. What it really takes, what I've learned from this journey is that you don't have to be a superhero to achieve the results you want. You just have to be committed. In fact, the fact that you're here taking the first big step towards your bigger future says a lot about your commitment. So great job. Let's keep going. Imagine what life would look like when you no longer have to struggle with relentless discomfort of IBS. How amazing it feels when you understand exactly why your body has behaved this way and what you can do about it. Imagine what it feels like to finally have the freedom to go anywhere and do whatever you want again. All of this is possible when you understand and take action on the 3 discoveries I made years ago that I'm sharing with you now. These are the 3 things that will help you put an end to years of frustration and finally see the results you've been wanting. I know that sounds like a bold claim, so hear me out. These 3 discoveries will help you go from persistent IBS and abdominal pain to a life free of gut troubles and anxiety around food. Discovery 1. Food sensitivities are not a symptom nor the cause of IBS. They are merely a symptom. Most people think that that's it. I just got to figure out what my food sensitivities are. But that's just an alert to something bigger going on. Food sensitivities, allergies happen because there's some giant problem underneath the surface. Most food allergies are the smoke that results from your digestive tissues being on fire. And we'll take a look at the cause of that fire in a moment. But for now, let's stay focused on food sensitivities and allergies because that's where so many women think holds the answer to their IBS. But elimination is not a good long-term solution. People with IBS often start thinking if they can just eliminate certain foods that they're sensitive or allergic to, then everything will get better. But while elimination can help at first, if there are sensitivities happening, we need to start looking at why it's happening in the first place, or else you'll never get long-term relief. Elimination diets often lead to nutritional deficiencies. Guessing and getting rid of foods can mean that you're not only depriving yourself of vital nutrients, but this can also lead to becoming obsessed with food, questioning everything, which only increases your anxiety. You may be eliminating perfect foods that your body actually needs to heal. So without being careful and strategic here, a well-meaning attempt to eliminate foods can create and does create more problems. For even good foods can cause problems when the root cause isn't addressed. And often the culprit of gut pain can be the things you're adding in that you think are supposed to be good. Things like kombucha, taking a sip of apple cider vinegar, us naturopathic physicians like to tell you to do, and the bone broth we're all so excited for, can be very problematic by creating a histamine reaction that will lead to more pain. All this is to say that we have to deal with the underlying issues in order to put out the fire and free you from the grips of IBS, in order to be able to eat anything without it triggering pain and anxiety anymore. Meet Kristen, miserable every day, and she was always looking for a nearby bathroom just in case. She was afraid of going to the doctor because she didn't want to be put on steroids. She hoped to just wait it out, but she was getting worse and worse. In a couple of days, we got her out of acute distress by targeting the specific foods that were making it worse, but she was able to stop guessing, for she knew what to avoid in the short term. Thus, in a few weeks later, following her individualized plan, she completely reversed her IBS and got her life back. IBS is a battle of the bugs. The microbiome is alive, consists of healthy, helpful bacteria and some not so helpful bacteria. There can also be other things besides bacteria like parasites, fungus, and candida, all of which are engaged in a 24/7 battle for the most precious real estate in your gut. The wall lining. This is what we got to get down to when we have lots of food sensitivities, is what's going on along the wall lining, which we did for Kirsten. But definitely using the short-term pull out of foods is helpful while we make change right here. So let's look at this gut lining. On the left, you see how the good bacteria are all over the tips of the tissue, and this is awesome, healthy mucus that is forming. Prime real estate for all the bacteria. But on the right side here, we've got too much bad bacteria. Maybe some viruses. We got some gluten trying to get in. Some random toxin that we're constantly exposed to, which slowly starts wearing down these tight junctions, causing more inflammation. Inflammation is when the white blood cells need to come in and get through to help fight these little guys, but that opens up everything. So everything can come through. Now, even good food is bad for you because it's all in your bloodstream here. So, this is definitely a problem. This triggers the immune system, causing these faulty tight junctions, just letting everything through, called the leaky gut syndrome. Primary cause of IBS. And this definitely happens when these good bugs lost the fight. That just takes a few rounds of antibiotics through your life to make a detrimental change there. Rounds of diarrhea, food poisoning, all kinds of things we're exposed to kicks this over here, not to mention habits. Hormonal changes, that's a big reason. That's the reason we're going to look at here, is that they have allowed those bad bugs to move on in. There's a certain amount of bad bugs normally we have in our body, which is just fine because we can ignore them. There's enough good bugs. We can move on with our lives. But remember before when we talked about estrogen and IBS? Here's how that change becomes so catastrophic for our gut health and makes women especially prone to more severe IBS. Estrogen can change stomach acid levels, right? And I see as this declines, so does our ability to absorb food. Low acid, low estrogen, low pH. It's now not low, but low acid, high pH, being alkaline. That's actually a perfect environment for these bad bugs, I'll call them. Normally, a healthy low pH, acidic environment will destroy the bad bugs, killing them right there in the stomach, bam, done. But when the pH rises, the invaders can start moving all in from your food, your nasal cavity. They start taking over that prime real estate in your gut, and the good bugs start to weaken as that pH changes, and they start to die out and fall off. And then these bad bugs jump in and start over time laying out their biofilm and network with even more bad guys. If we don't address the changes in poor metabolism of estrogen, thus the changes in pH, bad bugs will keep growing and taking over your prime real estate, your GI mucosal lining. But we have to be strategic about it, because one of the ways most people try to address this is just with probiotics. Well, that can be a problem. Probiotics at the wrong time can make those bad bugs extra angry. Try throwing a bunch of probiotics on top of those loose junctions in the gut. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. Except if that pig would get super angry and fight back. The bad bugs react to the probiotics, and that can create more pain, cramping, gas, and discomfort. So if you've ever taken probiotics and you didn't feel good, or you even felt worse, this was most likely the reason. Meet Joy. Joy was a 53-year-old woman, came to see me with excruciating pain, heavy diarrhea, so bad she couldn't leave her house for weeks. She did all the exams and tests with a regular MD, and they found nothing. She did 3 different rounds of antibiotics, 1 round of steroids, and that all only made it worse. But within days of working with me, we stopped that diarrhea, and we found the underlying cause that all the other doctors have missed. A bug in her microbiome. So, discovery 3. Loose junctions, leaky gut, and lots of invaders can create more inflammation. This dysfunctional series of events is the perfect Molotov cocktail to ignite inflammation throughout the gut. As we saw earlier, this chronic inflammation depletes the adrenals and makes you even more exhausted. This is also why just taking anti-inflammatories doesn't provide lasting relief, because it's without addressing these root problems of an out of balance microbiome and low adrenal function, the gut will continue to be inflamed, hypersensitive, and overreactive. Remember when I said that food sensitivities are the smoke, not the fire? This is the fire that has to be put out for long-term gut health, because we have to eliminate the root cause. Anti-inflammatories and antispasmodics and much of these prescriptions are just superficial, surface level approaches trying to make you feel more comfortable in the short term, which is fine, but remember, it's not a long-term answer. We have to clear out all the toxic invaders if we want to eliminate the root cause of the inflammation. Without addressing this root cause, these unwanted bad bugs will continue to lead us out of balance and continue to be inflamed, hypersensitive, and overreacting. Moving further into inflammatory bowel disease. Even when you think you're doing all the right things with your diet and lifestyle. So, say goodbye to gut pain and inflammation, because when those invaders are eliminated, the pain and inflammation goes away with them. This is now the perfect environment for your gut to be ready to receive good bacteria and fully heal that gut lining. So repopulate to rebalance the microbiome. When the invaders are eliminated, the pain and inflammation will go away with them. So now's the perfect time for your gut to receive your good bacteria again and fully heal the gut lining. And we will find out exactly which ones you need and what it takes to keep them. Then your tight junctions can seal up again and we can put an end to your leaky gut. Big root cause of IBS. But again, there's something always a little deeper. So what is it for you? For Mary here, it was candida. She had insomnia, stomach pain that went from mild to intense. Brain fog started coming in and body aches. She went even all the way to Mayo Clinic. Her primary first, of course, recommended the FODMAP and some Pepto-Bismol. Then on her own and with Mayo Clinic, they were adding in enzymes, probiotics, and other random supplements. Those were her on her own. But within just days of meeting me, I knew what the diagnosis was. We got her going on a treatment before the test had even come back. And so her sleep was able to be regained within days, and her stomach pain went from an 8 to a 2 very quickly. We were really excited with her success. So remember these 3 boxes I alluded to earlier? Well, now I'm going to show you the 3-step system I use to help clients, patients, just like I showed you, how they achieve these remarkable results. It's called the IBS Freedom Formula. First box, we test. Treating without testing can truly waste money and create unnecessary confusion. We can be efficient and strategic, addressing only the specific pathogens and imbalances that you're dealing with. We can find out if it's candida, if it's E. coli, C. diff, parasites, amoebas. And we'll know exactly what it is for you. And that will mean fast results, eliminating unnecessary food restrictions, and you're still able to eat the foods you like. The second step, once we know, then we kill. That's the most crucial phase, is eliminating and destroying and cleaning up these invaders that are causing you your gut problems. Any other gut or IBS treatments out there that ignore this step are truly not going to sustain. For without destroying these bad bugs, they will continue to lurk and create problems. They're just a little rougher than the probiotics. They're the mean guys for a reason. And the third box, very important. This one is something you will learn and always keep doing, and that's the rebuilding. And this is where we strategically put your guts back together again. Now that the garden has been weeded, we can tend to the soil, implement good nutrients in that beautiful terroir, and help you grow beautiful flowers again. Sustainable and healthy nourishment of your microbiome will get you out of pain, eliminate most of those food sensitivities, and take the burden off your hormones, allowing your adrenals to heal and ensuring that you have what you need in order to have a bulletproof gut well into your future. For with this in place, the IBS Freedom Formula, without it, you'll waste time with endless doctor visits with no clear answers, taking medications that only mask symptoms temporarily, trying extreme elimination diets that are hard to stick to, relying on over-the-counter remedies that do not work, and all the other things you're doing to cope right now. All of which means your health and body suffer as this vicious cycle keeps going round and around. But with just 3 simple steps, test, kill, and rebuild, you can break that cycle once and for all and get back to living and eating carefree. For with this in place, you can be free from the vicious IBS cycle. For it's worked for many of my patients. I've just shown many more, in fact, hundreds and thousands over the last 15 years. So is there any reason to believe this couldn't help you too? The very fact that you're still here watching this with me, it tells me you are committed to solving your gut issues once and for all. Otherwise, you would have been gone a long time ago. If you're anything like me and those I've helped, you don't want to waste any more of your time. You want actual proven system that works. You now know that when the gut hormone connection is ignored, you're not going to get lasting results, women. We've seen this, the old way of doing things, and it's just not simply working. And I've shown you that the IBS Freedom Formula that actually helps people just like you go from persistent IBS and belly discomfort to total health freedom without steroids, over-the-counter digestive aids, or strict diets. You can do this, and we can do it together. Just imagine how great it's going to feel when you no longer have to struggle with guessing which foods are going to aggravate your tummy, wondering how uncomfortable you're going to feel today. Feel how good it feels when you're finally gotten your life back and you're able to easily eat out wherever you are. And if you'd like me to help you do this, I'd be delighted. Because there is one thing for sure I know. Doing this alone is not easy. In fact, it's a surefire way to get things worse. You probably realize that by now. You could try, but you'll probably waste a lot of time, money, needless frustrations. It would be like driving across the country without a GPS or any signs on the road to tell you where to go. Here's why. Because it's cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars and 15 plus years of advanced schooling, working with patients, and figuring all of this out. So, till we finally created a solution that actually works. All so that you don't have to. So, what do successful people do? Here is the now. And in several months from now, you'll be in the future you create. First, we all start by getting clear on what we want. and why it's important to us. But those who struggle in life ask another question that takes them down the wrong path. And that question is, how? How can I do this on my own? And because you don't know how, you're going to continue to struggle. After all, if you knew how to do it, you'd already be there, wouldn't you? So this red line is called the struggle line. Now, here's what successful people like us do. We get clear on what and we want and why it's important to us. But instead of asking how, we ask a different question. Who? Who can help me get there faster? Who's been there and done this several times? Who can guide me so that I'm not wasting my money and time and I actually get the results I'm after? This is the green line, and I call it the success line. What's interesting is that down the road, these two curves are far apart, near impossible to jump from the red back to the green. But right now, they're literally touching each other. Right now, you have the chance to set the course by making a simple decision to get to the green line. And guess what? You're already on that green line by choosing to watch this masterclass. It wouldn't make sense to get off the success path and struggle with it. Of course, you're already moving and have the momentum in the correct direction. So let's stay on this green line and actually help you succeed once and for all. You're just a phone call away from me for making this happen. Here's exactly how I can help you. I'd like to offer you a free consult where I can better assess where you're at, what's held you back, how I can actually help you get the results you're wanting in less time. So during this IBS assessment call, we'll do three things. First, we'll get clear on the number one reason you're still dealing with this persistent gut issue and abdominal pains. A lot of times there's something my patients are completely unaware of, and until we have a look under the hood, really see what's going on. As I often say, the biggest danger you face is the blind spot you cannot see. So the first thing we'll do is to bring that blind spot to light so we know what we're dealing with. Then we'll uncover the specific challenges that have held you back. We'll look at what you've tried, what's been getting in the way, and start to map out a better plan for your specific solution. Finally, we'll create a plan to help you have a bulletproof gut. Once we're clear on where you're at, where you want to go, and what's been holding you back from getting there, then we can create a perfect game plan for you to get there. Just like my patients, Kirsten, Joy, and Mary. Remember I showed you earlier? It all just started with this IBS assessment call. So if you're ready to put an end to feeling tired, frustrated, and suffering because of your belly, if you're 100% committed to actually getting closer to being able to feel strong and trust your body again, and a lot faster and safer, and if you want to do it all without generic diet plans, the latest supplement craze, or randomly guessing what your diet needs to be, then this could be for you. Now, although I charge a pretty penny for my time and expertise, here's why. I'm extending this consult to you for free. Because we don't know each other yet. And I believe the best way to build trust is to actually help you before expecting anything. I just think that's fair. I also know that having done this many times before, a good percentage of people I do consult with want my help beyond our initial meeting. And if that's you, then great. If not, that's okay as well. But before we go any further, you need to know that I can't help everyone. And the last thing I want to do is waste your time if you're not the type of person who will see results. This is not for you if you're currently pretty far and you have a GI tube. or you're currently in an acute IBD flare up, or you're just unable or unwilling to invest in your health, currently just not disposable income. And I say that because although this consult is completely free, I only have so many hours in a day. Therefore, I can only prioritize those who are in a position, should they want my help beyond that consult, to be able to invest in fixing this problem once and for all. Obviously, every person and situation is unique, but should you want my help, it's not 1K, but it's not 10K either. So now, if improving your situation is valuable enough where that makes sense, then this free consult is for you. This is definitely for you if you're someone who is fully committed to taking control of your gut health. This is an absolute must for you now. You know that you can't wait any longer to solve this, and you're ready to leave that IBS in the past and start living fully again. If you meet this criteria, then awesome! This is for you to jump on board with me with. And I don't see any reason you couldn't see results just like Kirsten, Joy, and Mary did. So simply click the link below to book your free consult. So if you want to uncover what's really been keeping you from breaking free of the vicious IBS cycle, get a customized plan for your specific situation, see if working together would make sense for you to get even faster results, then awesome, let's do this, because time is of the essence. And remember, this is why you stay on that green line is going to the next step here. Book your free consult so we can get you to that promised land much faster. Or go back to doing what you were doing before and probably stay stuck. But those are the two choices you have, but only one moves you closer to the results you're looking for. The very reason you signed up to watch this masterclass in the first place. So take advantage of this opportunity now. Simply click the link below to book your free consult and let's do this together. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and I really look forward to speaking and learning about you one-on-one. Take care.